SV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Friday Night Shit Show.
Oh, shit.
So, hope everybody's doing good tonight. Yeah, we got so much shit, but we got some good shit this time. We got a few good things that are going
on. It's all
on.
shit, man.
So, how are you guys doing tonight?
Oh, I'm freaking ecstatic. I mean, did you see those Supreme Court rulings today?
Yes, I did. We can talk about them in a little bit. How are you, Ruben?
I'm good. I have enough. I have faith for my chart. Just kidding. I was just trying to hate myself. No, I'm good.
Speaking of the Taylor Swift thing, because you have that Taylor Swift intro, did you see what's going around on her around with the whole thing? Apparently, she had a snot rocket while doing one of her concerts, and she did this to clean
her nose. Yeah,
and when she she brought her hands down, somebody focused on her hand. There was the fucking snot rocket. It's like, oh shit, I don't know if that's a deep fake or what.
Is that?
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
That's embarrassing for anyone.
Yes, but it's hilarious.
Even if you're a star. You know, stars are human too. I mean,
she's a billionaire. She could take a little embarrassment.
She gonna have a fake nose so she don't have boogers? I mean, yeah.
No, she's a billionaire. She could take a little embarrassment.
Well, I guess so. She'll be all right. But I just want to say hi to everybody in the chat real quick. Let's see who's all in here. Let me go back up to the top. I put something. Hi, Six Nations. Thank you for coming. He was first in here. Jackie Blue. Hi, baby girl. Tree Rock. Hello. And let's see. Snorter Poopus Cuber. Hello, sweetheart. It's nice to see you in here.
You got to sing that name. Snorter Poopus Cuber.
I know. Raquel used to sing all the time in her floppy space or room. Yeah, I miss him. But I'm going to say thank you to all of you so far that's showing up, and anybody that might be over on X. I don't know if they're over there or not. I'll have to go over and check and see if it's even up and going. But today I wanted to share something that, to give you guys a laugh. It's for the guys, basically, because I found it and I thought it was hilarious, and I thought you guys would love it, to give you a little giggle before we get started. So let me pull it up real quick. Yeah, let's see, where is it?
Probably got a couple things.
Better at this. Yeah, here it is. Okay, can you see this? I'm going to make it bigger.
Bigger.
Okay, this is great. So here we go.
Yeah.
This is awesome. I just love this. They're so cute. He's so proud of his car.
The massage.
And he gives him a fucking beer. Oh shit!
I love that. That is so adorable.
Yep.
Those two guys are a hoot. I mean, they made me laugh. I watched it like 6 times. I thought it was so funny, because it was just adorable, because it shows you that, you can brag because you got some fancy something, whatever, but it never replaces a person. I don't care if you got AI or whatever, but that guy having a woman get out, put the stuff in the trunk, open him a drink and hand it to him, tops anything that guy had on his car.
She loves her man. She supports her man.
I just loved it. So did you think that was good, Ruben?
Yeah.
I just thought it was so cute.
The only problem was that she didn't give him a sandwich.
Well, the thing is that he wiped that guy off the floor, basically, showing, hey, you got a nice car. It opens when you wipe your foot around it or whatever. But look what I got. All I got to do is this.
Well, you just tell her what to do. That's what I did.
I just loved it. I thought it was so cute. I had to share.
You're opening it up for me now.
to start everything off with something funny. But yeah, I saw a couple videos this week, and it really made me proud to be an American. And this person is not a senator in my state. He's in Missouri, but I just thought he's kick ass. And I wish that everyone that found a person like this in their state, or any senator or congressman or any representative, whatever, that does this type of stuff for us, we need to brag on. We need to share these videos. We need to talk about these people and try to get more people like this gentleman in office. So I'm going to share this video with everyone.
Holly's been on fire, man. He is.
I just love this guy. Yeah, he is just really, really good at what he's doing. And if we just had more like him, we'd be better off. Here we go.
Used the arms and agencies of government to actively censor Americans who dared to question the propaganda, and they're still lying to us. And I'll give you the proof of it. I wrote the bill that requires the administration to declassify the intelligence assessments and reports related to the origins of COVID-19. Now, listen, I just want to say, everybody sitting on this dais has read these. I've read them. I guarantee you my colleagues have read them. I know what the Energy Department concluded. I know what the FBI concluded. I knew what they concluded years ago because we could read them when people like Dr. Fauci were out there saying the lab leak hypothesis was totally discredited and nonsense. You could go read the intelligence and know our own government thought otherwise. And at this late hour, this government still refuses to release the intelligence. They are blatantly disregarding the law that this body passed, the Senate passed unanimously. The propaganda involved in the origins of COVID-19 is astounding to me. It recalls the worst of the wartime propaganda in years past when the government would deliberately lie to people. And here, that's what they have been doing with COVID-19 and are still doing it. You know, you had this whole cabal led by Dr. Fauci and others who, as soon as the lab leak hypothesis that we now know is a lot more than a hypothesis, as soon as it's mentioned, what did Fauci do? We know because this has all been litigated in a federal district court. In fact, in multiple federal courts. I've got the finding of fact from the court right here. They lay it all out. Fauci goes to the WHO, asks the WHO to intervene to discredit the lab leak. He then speaks against it multiple times from the podium at the White House. He then does countless media interviews. I mean, my gosh, what show has he not been on? He's still on TV, spewing this misinformation, as he would call it. But he did these multiple interviews where he says, no way, no how, lab leak not possible at all. And then he coordinates, and the whole federal government coordinates with the biggest tech companies in the world to suppress, and media companies to suppress any American who would ask questions about it. It's absolutely disgraceful. Dr. Gary, you were part of this propaganda effort. I mean, you were right at the center of it. It's astounding. You wrote this piece, this Nature magazine piece or whatever it was that we've heard testimony here today, Nature Medicine, March 17th, 2020. We've heard testimony here today from other scientists on the panel that it's basically an opinion piece. You said at the time that definitively SARS-CoV-2 is not a laboratory construct, Of course, our own government, key agencies have concluded otherwise. And on the basis of this, Dr. Fauci and others cited this piece and went out to use it to mobilize our own government to censor people who ask questions about it. People lost their jobs because of this.
Yep.
They lost their jobs. They lost their standing. They were kicked off Facebook. They were kicked off Twitter. Do you regret being part of this effort, this propaganda effort?
Sir, I was simply just writing a paper about our scientific opinions about where this virus came from.
Oh, no, you weren't. You said in an email that we now have that you tried to withhold, but that we have February 2nd, 2020, you wrote, I really can't think of a plausible natural scenario where you can get from the bat virus or one very similar to it to this. I'm quoting you. I just can't figure out how this gets accomplished in nature. It's stunning. Of course, in the lab, it would be easy.
Well, of course. And I actually figured it out. That's the whole point of
You
that.
figured it out. You wrote this while you were writing your propaganda piece. While you were writing
I wrote
your
that
paper.
somewhere around February 2nd.
Yeah, it was exactly February 2nd, and you've testified that you were writing your proximal origin paper in early February. So you're saying that what did it come to you overnight?
There was new data that
Like
came in.
A revelation from God.
No, it's
Overnight
simply the
you
scientific
concluded,
method.
I got it. I figured it out. And now I can definitively rule out. It's amazing. Is that what happened?
It's just the scientific method.
Oh, it's just science. Oh, it's the scientific method that happened at lightning speed and then was used to propagandize and lie to and shut down. As a scientist who's supposedly supposed to follow facts, do you regret the fact that your work was used to censor your fellow scientists? It was used to censor ordinary Americans who ask questions about the virus? Do you regret that?
When you write a paper, I mean, you get it in the journal. We can't control what happens after.
Oh, I see. So you're not responsible at all. It's amazing. Nobody who is involved in any of this is responsible. Never.
Yeah.
They're not responsible.
Yeah, but
People have lost their jobs.
Yeah.
People have lost probably their health care associated with their jobs. People have been run out of public. They're not available in polite society. You can't show your face because, my gosh, you question.
Yeah.
But you don't have anything to do with it. Why have so many of your papers, your other papers, been retracted or subjected to formal expressions of concern?
Yeah, well,
Why is that?
There's a long story behind that.
4 of them,
those-
right?
those-
I mean, you've had in
Jeez
July
Louise.
26, 2021, Virology retracted a paper of yours. Also in 2021, the Journal of General Virology retracted another of your papers. In March of 2022, an expression of concern was added by an editor of yet another journal to another of your papers. In April 4th of 2024, a third scientific paper of yours was retracted from the Journal of Medical Virology.
Yeah.
Is this normal?
Those papers didn't come from my lab, but I'm certainly helping.
They're not yours?
They're not mine. No.
Oh, so your
I'm on the
work is...
paper, but they did not come
The work
from my
that,
lab.
that God gave you in a flash of inspiration remains absolutely unimpeachable, unimpeached.
We stand by that.
Do you stand by your assertion in your Nature piece that SARS-CoV-2 is not a laboratory construct? Could not be?
We do, and that's exactly the same
Couldn't possibly be.
conclusion that the intelligence community came to.
Oh, no,
Sure,
that is a lie. Let's stop right there.
Well, it's right
That
here. I have it
is
right
a
here.
lie. I have read the intelligence community did not come to that conclusion. Multiple intelligence community agents and components have concluded it was likely a lab leak. And they concluded that at the same time that you and your people were propagandizing the American public and using the channels and influence of the American government to censor ordinary Americans.
Yeah.
That is the truth. I'm not going to sit here and allow you to lie any further. Dr. Gary, you have disgracefully participated in shameful propaganda that has been one of the worst chapters in this country's history, with the government propagandizing its own people. And you know what? You may be right about I'm not a scientist. I don't know. But what I do know is it is wrong. It is wrong to censor and lie to the American public. It is wrong to withhold critical information from them. And it is wrong to countenance that and to say, oh, I just had nothing to do with it. Gee, I wish we could have done better. You should have done better, sir. You should have done better. And because you didn't, people have suffered. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Damn, what do you guys think of that guy?
I wish he was my senator.
I loved every minute of it. I've watched this 5 or 6 times, and every time I just want to get some pom-poms and just go whoo, 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 just root for him, because he just gets you so pumped up because he's speaking the truth.
But again, this means nothing.
It means something. You know why? Because people are seeing this. They're hearing this for the first time ever.
If they and those people are fucking idiots. If they don't, if they didn't know back then what it was doing. Idiots. No. If they didn't know what was going on back then and now, then they're idiots. No, let me finish. They're morons. Then number two, this whole process of showing the video, not you, or televising this, or having this, or him doing this means nothing. What's going to come of it? An angry letter? The Senate is still democratically controlled.
The fact that he had the balls to sit there in front of all those people that he has to work with, that he knows hate his guts because he's telling the truth.
And nothing, and the mainstream media won't show this.
Well, I don't care. We're now the mainstream media. Us, people like you and me.
That's sad.
I know it is sad, but it's a fact. It's a fact today. If we don't show this on Rumble and Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, when we fight our way through YouTube to get it out there, or any of these apps, how are some of these people even going to find out about it? They're not.
The truth is, the attorneys general of each state has to file suit against Fauci, this idiot, and all the other morons that did this. And they are in collusion with, but the thing is, it's bigger. It's not just Fauci. It is the NIH. It's the CIA. It's the NSA.
He even said that.
It's the government.
It's
China. It's all of this stuff.
I know, but he even said that the people above that, the people that are investigating about the government part of it, is saying that it was a lab leak too. So what I'm saying is, this man had the balls to stand up and speak the truth, even though he knows that he's going to have 25 knives in his back, not literally, but people that aren't going to deal with him, aren't going to work with him, aren't going to want to be on committees with him, all the different things that is going to affect his career politically because he spoke out. That tells me that we can get more people like that in office and start pushing out some of these criminals.
This is the equivalent of somebody going down to the street and yelling. It means nothing until action has to be done. Action has to be done. It's different
because it's online. And now anyone that watches this that has had loved ones that have lost their jobs, that have gotten sick or died after they got the jabs and stuff like that, that are starting to open their eyes, they're not going to vote for anyone that they feel was responsible for this stuff. They're going to vote for somebody they think is going to try to do something to make these people be punished for it. Even if they don't, what I'm trying to say is this is changing people's minds about who they're going to vote for, and to get them off their ass and make them go vote. So does it not matter that these people are going to vote now?
No, they won't vote. That's the thing. You're taking a voter who votes to someone who doesn't vote.
Why?
They won't vote.
Why?
Because they don't trust anything. They will lose all, and they won't vote.
I am one of the biggest black pillars, and guess what? It makes me want to vote. And I still believe in voting, but I only believe in it because I believe that if my ass is sitting in that chair helping count those votes, they're going to be fair, at least in the
because you have a home and you live a state that you love, and that's what I'm saying. You have that. That's what I'm saying. And
a lot of people have that.
You're voting locally for your own region. I don't vote locally. I only vote federally. I don't like local voting. It's stupid. Because that's not going to do anything. You got to change it. You got to change it your own. You got to change your path, not the path of everybody else. That's the whole thing. But the point being here is, all he's saying
by being active.
All he's saying is correct. But again, beyond there has to be some attorney has to come up and do something. And if Biden wins, which is still a possibility for some reason, it's gonna be it's all bets are off. You got to get out of the United States. It's time. It's time. But again, because everywhere I see, this being on TikTok, yes, it's important. That's another reason why they don't want TikTok, is because of what's going on here. Because again, this is TikTok is, and here's where it helps the Chinese per se, because the TikTok allows this. It's on the app. It's free speech. They let it have that going because it's in here in America, but then they're trying to stop it. So the fact that it's TikTok, you're going to have people who basically say, well, look, didn't the government ban TikTok? This is all misinformation. They will follow into that trap. So again, it's basically, it is damned if you do, damned if you don't. But the point being here is action that more than this has to happen. This is basically it's theater. Yes, it's like spaces on X. Anybody who does the space on X, it's theater. It's not real. It's
The
not
only
real.
way that this shit
So, hey,
is...
Danny, you're in the chat. Is Spaces fake? Is it all theater?
It's irrelevant.
No, I know, but I'm asking Danny because I want to ask him something else after he answers. If he answers, I don't know if he's listening or not, but I saw him in the chat earlier. But the thing is,
the ineptitudes of the government,
people like Dan Bongino, okay, a few others. I'm trying to remember some of their names right now. See, Danny he agreed with you. He said that he thought it was scripted or something like that earlier, but he thinks Spaces is different. See, I don't. I think they're the same. Anytime you speak in public, at the grocery store, at church, at the bowling league, here, on Spaces, on Instagram or whatever, and people listen to you, even if you only get one person out of every 20 people that listen to you, and they believe you, and they start looking into it themselves and tell someone else, and they tell someone else, that makes a difference. And I really do believe that, because if like that shooting today, there was a shooting in Arkansas, okay, in Fordyce, Arkansas. And I think 3 people now are dead and 8 are injured. I didn't even know about it. I was at the gym. I did some other stuff, worked in the yard, took care of my chickens, came in, taking a shower. And it was someone from Twitter that sent me a message, say, hey, did you hear about the Arkansas shootings or whatever? I didn't know about it, but because someone else took time out of their time, knowing I'm from Arkansas, to send me a message, I found out about it. And as soon as I found out, I got on and started looking, trying to find out what it was still all going on at that time. So talking to other people does make a difference. It can open people's eyes. Just like someone else contacted me the other day and said, hey, there's a guy not escaped, but he left Oklahoma. He killed 3 people and now he's on the loose in Arkansas. They caught him too. But what I'm saying is word of mouth, sharing information does make a difference. And it may not make a difference to everyone, because I know that's impossible, because there's still people polling for Biden. So I know those people they don't give a shit.
No matter what you do there, or for some of these Biden voters, nothing is going to sway their vote.
Well, yeah,
they have been purely indoctrinated, and they will never, or they cannot fathom Trump. They believe that Trump is literally the devil.
Mm-hmm.
So
what percentage of the electorate do you believe that way? What percentage of the electorate do you think?
I'm not even gonna attempt to guess, because I honestly do not know. But I do know that there are people out there who literally see Donald Trump as the devil, who is so evil that to vote for him, you are evil yourself. I know this because I used to live with a person who believed that. My landlady absolutely believed that there was no redeeming quality about Donald Trump. And it's like, well, you made your mind up.
What do you think, Janet? Of the electorate, of the registered voters the percentage will never vote for Trump because they think he's a devil.
Maybe 1%.
Really? Okay. Mm-hmm. I say between 35 and 40.
Yeah, I don't think there's that many people that think that Trump's the devil.
Those registered, those registered voters that will never vote for Trump because they believe he's a devil. It's 35 to 40%.
Well, I believe that there's a lot of registered voters that are Democrats that won't vote for Trump, but not because they think he's a devil. Just because they're Democrats and they think that he's going to hurt the democracy. That's why they're not going to.
Now that number is about 45%.
That's the ones that I've talked to. I've only talked to very few people that actually think that Trump is the Antichrist. But I heard the same thing. But
the thing is that I am done with anybody.
When I was in New Orleans, I heard the same thing about Obama, that, he's the Antichrist. He's the Manchurian candidate. I heard all this shit. I hear it about every single person that runs for president.
Obama's running the show right now through he's a puppet. He's the puppet helping the puppet Biden behind all of the globalists.
I mean, did you see him leading him off the stage the other day?
Yeah, that's Obama doing that.
Yeah, that was literally Obama showing he was the puppet master.
Yeah, but he's still getting a big fat. I don't think
Obama's a puppet too.
You have to remember this about Obama. Obama just came out of nowhere, basically, because somebody saw potential in him, like maybe the Soroses and a few others that are Soros related people.
No, it was way before
Took
that.
them under their arm and said, "This is who we want." So they shoved Hillary out of the way. Hildebeest got kicked to the curb, and they brought Obama in. There you go.
I love that Hildebeest. That's
Okay.
good.
He won. That's who's in charge. The same people that picked Obama out, made sure his birth certificate looked real, did all that stuff to get him in, are the same people that are running everything right now. So whoever that is, it's not Obama. Obama was a figurehead of another entity. Okay.
You're talking about the shadow government.
Well,
Yeah.
whoever that is the same people in charge right now
Mhm.
with Obama, with their hand up his ass, making him do the Weekend at Bernie's shit. Okay, right now. But the thing is, to me, when I watched that, I mean, you've seen me on this show just get so upset and blackpilled about child trafficking and all the nasty, disgusting shit that I think this government is in the middle of and keeping going by keeping the border open and doing all the things for whatever reason they're doing it. They're working together. Even a ton of fake conservatives, because actions speak louder than words. You could say, "Oh, honey, I love you," the whole time you're bashing her face in. What speaks louder to her? This, not this. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. So there's two different ways to go about getting what you want. You either fight for it, or you just take the scraps that you're given and just say and tell everybody, take the scraps. It's better to take the scraps than make sure you have some scraps than have nothing or have a risk that you'll never have anything. So, that's how I look at everything. And that's how I see it. But when I saw this gentleman and it came across my timeline, I clicked on it and I watched him. Not because I knew who he was. He was just a young, attractive man. So I clicked on it to see who it was. And I knew he was interviewing someone, but I didn't know who he was. As I didn't, he's from a different state. But I listened to him and I was like, what the fuck? I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that there was actually a senator actually saying this shit about COVID. Then it made me want to look up more. And this is what else I looked up. Okay. The next thing I looked up was this. Where is it? Let's see. One second. Right here. I found his Wikipedia because I wanted to find out who this guy was. He was born in Springdale, Arkansas, and I thought that was pretty cool. And, he went to Yale and, did all the same thing. Like lots of people in politics are lawyers. So that kind of turned me off a little bit. But then when I went down and I started to read some of this stuff, and I was like, well, I really felt like what he was saying was everything that I wished somebody would ask, Fauci and some of these people involved in this whole bullshit with the COVID crap. Okay. So I started going through and reading. I'm going to share this link to him in the chat for anyone else that's interested in looking at it, because it's very interesting, some of the things that he's done. But this is what made me open up my eyes about this gentleman. It said, let me see, we'll find it real quick. I had it bookmarked on my page, but hold on. Oh, I'm so bad at remembering where stuff was.
Josh Hawley, yeah.
Yeah, come on.
A lot of people don't. There's a lot of people who will say there's no such thing as an honest politician. He has done so much. I mean, every politician has a skeleton in the closet, whether it be an innocent or a really dirty skeleton. I really haven't seen any bad drawing on Hawley, unless it's one of those crazy freaking TDSers that are like, he's a Trump supporter, he's automatically evil. It's like, oh, shut up.
But this right here, when I read this part, this is when I went, oh, okay. I even like him more. But listen to this. After Joe Biden won the 2020 presidential election, Hawley announced his intention to object to the Senate certification of the Electoral College vote on January 6, 2021. He was the first senator to do so. He was the first one. This told me, even though he's young and I never heard of him, he's the first one that had the balls to stand up and voice his opinion back in 2020 about the whole thing, about all Pence had to do was those 5 states that were saying they had problems with their votes, and they thought there was cheating, and they thought there was some other things, and they had a bunch of stuff, and that's what they were doing that day, supposedly, when we had a fake insurrection. Okay.
Yeah.
He was the first senator to say that they should take those electoral colleges votes back to the states and straighten it out before they accepted them. Okay. That made me go, okay, this guy's got some balls, because he was the first one to do it.
6 nations, there's only 100
people.
Holly listens to Holly actually takes the time to listen to his constituents. I have actually heard that this man actually does look at letters and emails and stuff that he gets. He doesn't have a secretary, or he has a secretary for it, but he's like, I want you to show me this stuff so I can see for myself what these people are saying.
But I'm sharing his that link for him in Wikipedia, because it's a very good read. It's very interesting. I don't trust Wikipedia with everything they put, because there's a lot of bullshit in some of it, that I have read and found. But
yeah, they edit a lot of stuff.
Overall, you can get a gist, and other things that are in there, to look them up separately about someone that you're interested in looking for information. And you can print it out and take it with you to a doctor appointment or whatever, and read it that way. But I'm going to stop sharing that. And my next thing I want to present is this. So give me 1 second. Oh, I'm getting a little better, I think, at this, but we'll see. I think it's this one. Yeah, here's the other one. This is another one of him, but this one, I put it on my timeline too, and I try to bookmark all these things so I can have them for later on, because I do play these things on Spaces and stuff and talk about these, because to me, I use Spaces to try to share information with others that may not have found out about it yet. And a lot of people don't come to YouTube or watch live streams. So that's another way of them getting information. I talked to 2 people today, one from Florida, one from Texas, that never even heard about any of this stuff. So when I shared it with them, they were like, what? They were really surprised. But, so to me, it is a way of sharing information with people that hopefully they'll tell other people, and we'll get more people to start expecting this type of person, okay, to be in office for them in their state, fighting for them. But listen to this one. This is pretty good.
Currently,
Senator, that's well disclosed in our proxy documents in each of the years that I've been employed.
yeah, but what is it?
It's a big number, sir.
Well, let me help you out. It's 32.8 million this year. Does that sound right?
Yes, it does.
That's a 45% increase over last year. Does that sound right?
Yes, it does.
What is it you get paid to do exactly?
I get paid to run the Boeing company.
Yeah. So just help me understand that. I mean, do you get paid for transparency? Is that one of the metrics for your income?
I think the board counts on me for transparency.
Really? Because you're under investigation for falsifying 787 inspection records. The Boeing's under criminal investigation for the Alaska Airlines flight. You were investigated by DOJ for criminal conspiracy to defraud the FAA. This is all in your tenure. This doesn't sound like a lot of transparency to me. What about safety? Is that a component of your salary?
It sure is, Senator.
Have you seen the reports that the subcontractor that you use to make that door piece that fell out of the sky, that when the FAA went and toured the facility, they found one door seal being lubricated with Dawn liquid dish soap and cleaned with a wet cheesecloth, and another was being checked with a hotel room key card. Does that sound like safety to you?
Senator, I think our relationship with that particular supplier has been well documented, reviewed by the FAA, and most certainly us. And I'm very intent on acquiring that company so that none of that ever happens.
The FAA also says that Boeing still has not implemented the recommended steps back from 2019 and 2020 after the MAX crashes, you still have not taken the appropriate safety procedures or implemented what they recommended. I mean, how, if safety is a component of your $33 million compensation package, I mean, how can you possibly qualify for any of this? What about quality? Is quality part of your compensation package?
Love it.
Senator, I meet with the FAA pretty regularly. They don't hold anything back, and I'm not aware of anything that has been cited with respect to those accidents that we haven't taken action on.
Really? Because we've had whistleblowers. You said you'd listen to whistleblower testimony. We've had multiple whistleblowers come before this committee and allege that Boeing is cutting every possible corner on quality and safety, not just in the past, but now. They've alleged that you've eliminated safety inspections, that there are fewer in quality and there are fewer inspectors doing quality inspections out there. They've alleged that when they raised quality issues and concerns, they were reassigned, they were retaliated against, they were physically threatened. That doesn't sound like attention to quality to me. And yet you're getting paid $33 million a year. Extraordinary.
Senator, we have increased our quality inspectors significantly.
How much has your stock price increased while you've been at Boeing?
It hasn't, and I don't watch it much.
Have you done any stock buybacks while you've been at Boeing?
Not in my job, no.
How about your profits? Have your profits increased at all while
I
you've
haven't
been?
had any profits, sir.
I'm sorry?
I have not had any profits.
Yeah. You know, I think the truth is, Mr. Calhoun, you're not focused on safety. You're not focused on quality. You're not focused on transparency. All of this is in the record, but I think actually you're focused on exactly what you were hired to do, which is that you're cutting corners. You are eliminating safety procedures. You are sticking it to your employees. You are cutting back jobs because you're trying to squeeze every piece of profit you can out of this country. This company, you're strip mining it. You're strip mining Boeing. It was one of the greatest American companies ever. It has employed thousands of people in my state, and you are strip mining it for profit, shareholder value, and you're being rewarded for it. You got a huge raise, a huge increase. So it's working out great for you. For the American people, they're in danger. For your workers, they're in peril. For your whistleblowers, they literally fear for their lives, but you're getting compensated like never before. Don't you think maybe your priorities are misplaced here? I mean, don't you think maybe it's time to get back to focusing on making quality planes and paying your workers well and taking care of the little guys who got you to where you are? That's not a rhetorical question.
Senator, I don't recognize any of the Boeing you described.
Really?
And I want to assure.
You don't recognize the Boeing that has airplanes falling out of the sky, that has had 2 MAXs crash, that has had pieces of doors fall out of the sky, that have had whistleblowers come before they've sat right where you have sat and told us, these are your employees who have told us that when these are the engineers, by the way. Are you an engineer?
I'm not. Sir.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And they have said that they're not listened to, that they're retaliated against, that they're threatened. That's the reality of Boeing today. That's your company that you have created. Now, I don't recognize it either from the company it used to be decades ago, but under your leadership, that's what Boeing is, and you're being rewarded for it handsomely, handsomely. Don't you think there's something wrong with that? Why haven't you resigned?
Yeah, Senator, I stand by what I said, and I want to assure the great employees in your state that that is not the way we operate the company, and it never will be. And if you would like my chief engineer to talk about what he sees in
No, I
yours,
want to hear from you, because what I hear from you is a lot of this team does that and that team does that. And I listen to the whistleblowers, but I don't meet with them. And I've heard about all this stuff that you Congress have meddlesomely asked for because the public wants to see it. Gosh darn them, but you actually haven't supervised any of it. I've heard that. It's a lot of it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. But meanwhile, you're getting paid a heck of a lot of money. It's unbelievable. If anybody's coming out of this deal good, it's you. Why haven't you resigned?
Senator, I'm sticking this through. I'm proud of having taken the job. I'm proud of our
this
safety record, and I am
You're proud of
very
this safety
proud
record.
of our Boeing people.
You're proud of this safety record.
I am proud of every action we have taken.
Every action you've taken.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Wow. There's some news for you. Well, behind you can't see it. Behind you, the folks are showing pictures of the people who are the victims of your safety record. I think we can all see them. And I think the American public, when they fear to get on their airplanes, they understand your safety record. And frankly, sir, I think it's a travesty that you're still in your job.
Love this guy. Oh, I just think he's awesome. I don't know why, but I just wish
He's not
we had
afraid to say
people
what he
like that.
feels.
I know, and I'm that way. Okay, maybe
That's why we
I
like
am.
him.
Maybe that's why I like him, because that's me. I do that, and I get emotionally attached. I wish I didn't, but I can help it when I see somebody getting fucked over for whatever reason in any level of government, or in my city or my town or my family or my friends. I want to help them, you know. And to me, I mean, I was watching his hands move and stuff while he was talking. I could tell he believes what he's saying.
I consider this man for president, in all
yeah,
honesty.
and maybe he will one day. But the thing is that it opens people's eyes when they listen, and they listen to what he's saying and the depth that he's going. And the guy sitting in the hot seat, he didn't know what to say. He just wanted to leave. You could tell because he had no answers. He had no answers about why his planes are falling to pieces and that people are dying. I mean, honestly, do you want to fly? I'm going to be flying in a month, and you may never see me again once I get on a plane, simply because my life is going to be in that guy's hands. Okay. And I'm paying for the privilege to die because this guy doesn't give a shit, because he's making $30-something million a year. Think about it that way. Okay. Start thinking about it. His job is to make sure that the planes are safe. Okay. And they got to cut corners. They got to save this money on that. So they buy the cheaper bolts, you know, and they buy the cheaper this and the cheaper that, so that he can get more money in his paycheck and more money for the other guys that are up there that don't even see the planes, don't even see the workers, don't see the people at the airports, or see the people that have to drive up and scrape up all the bodies that were mangled up all over the place, right? They don't see any of that shit. They just get the big fat check. That's it. That's why I like this guy. Because if you start looking at it that way, and you start thinking about your ass that might be sitting in that plane next time, or your mom, or your sister, or your daughter, or your son. Okay. Or you might even be on the plane with your little child sitting in your lap, and then the plane's falling apart and you see the door fly off or whatever else. All you're thinking about is that your child's going to die. Okay. And there's nothing you can do about it, because you're strapped in a chair on something flying through the air that's falling apart. And it's on this guy. And I'm glad that he said that shit. And I'm sharing this with everybody. I'm sharing it over and over and over again, because people need to see that there are some people that are in our government that are fighting for us, even though it may be just words to some people. Oh, it's nothing. It's not going to count to anything. It's mattering right now, because this guy is getting people to see it and understand when their loved ones died. It's because this guy was getting a check, didn't give a fuck. Okay, that's all he cared about. It was his $30-something million. How many people in that family, of all the people you saw them holding up those signs of all those dead people from those 2 plane crashes that he was talking about, how much you think they got? Did you think they got $30-something million to help make it cushier for them because their family was torn apart by somebody dying in a plane crash from a plane that was falling apart? Huh? They didn't get any of that money. But I'd like to see them all get $30 million from this company. Every single one of those families. I'd be on a jury. I'd give it to them. I'm not getting any of it. But man, I'd be sleeping good every night knowing I gave those people money because of what happened to them. Okay, that's the kind of person I am. And I would hope that there would be people like that for you when you died, if you died in a plane, that somebody gave a shit enough to try to do something so that it won't happen to the next person. And that's why I like this guy. And that's why I think if you see stuff like this, you should share it with whoever you can, because that one person, I don't know who they are, you might show it to the right person that's the daughter of a judge, or the daughter of some famous lawyer, or the son of someone, or this, that, and the other. We don't know. Okay. I believe in that. What is it? Was it 6 degrees of separation where you don't know where, you know, the next person that's here, it might make a difference. I mean, we don't know, but that's why we have to do it. We have to share it. But go ahead, Ruben. I'll set up. For
True. I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I'm just being realistic in a sense that the last two, or the whole issue of Josh Hawley per se, yes, good American does what he's to do, but if nobody reports on it, it's just out in the wind, in the ether.
That's right. You're right.
When it comes to this, is like, because I did some work for Boeing back in the early 2000s. And I've been to the plant. I've been to Everett, Washington, which it's a very beautiful facility. And then back then they did care. This is 20 years ago, probably. Yeah, they cared. 24 years ago, they cared about security, and they cared about, and it was something that's so important. But you got to remember, the majority. It's like what? 20% of what Boeing does is logistics. And that was what I was doing, the logistics side, making parts, sending across the United States, sending across the globe, because they want to compete globally out there against the Airbus. And then about another 20%, or actually 25%, is military. And that's the big one. That's the big one that's where they want to make more money coming up soon. And then about 40% is the actual planes flying. So the military aspect is the big aspect that they're going to be putting more money to getting things done. But the quality issue is more nefarious because somebody's pushing these people to do certain things. When it came to the Max, the 737 Max and its problems, what they did, if you don't know offhand, they were trying to compete against Airbus, and they were tasked by management to make the planes fly faster, be more efficient, get these bigger engines on here. So they're basically trying to make the plane do something it was supposed to do, and the only way to make it work was to invert the engines upside down and reverse them so it would fit. And then they had to like software change everything. And when they did this, they didn't train their people properly. They put everything out, because everything after the 777 was all done virtually. They didn't make models. The 787 is a pure computer-driven plane, and it has a lot of problems. And the 737 Max was designed the same way, so it had a lot of problems too. We had to do 2 crashes, because that's how it crashed. The crashes occurred because, again, when they did the software update, and then they people who were trained in the 737 thought 737 Max would be the same. It's not, and it operated out of what they're used to at the plane flying. And it feels the same way. It's designed the same way, but it's not the same plane. And that was a failing of them, because they wanted to get things out right away, because we have to get it done. And someone on top, and that's this guy that they're talking to, did the wrong thing. So not only that, then you have these whistleblowers who end up being deleted. They find them dead. Whistleblowers are gone. And that in of itself means that this is all bullshit. Again, another task where someone from the state, basically Josh Hawley, should be talking to the Attorney General of Missouri to start a class action lawsuit against Boeing. That's what he should be doing. Doing that. Do the lawfare now.
And we were talking about before the show started, Orange Hat and I, about the SCOTUS, what they came out with. And so good things are starting to trickle out. It's just that I just don't understand how all this stuff is starting to come out about, about the cheats, all the places that they're finding more and more ballots that were fake, stacked. People were putting them through the machine over and over again. All this stuff is starting to come out now from different.
Yeah, what they're going to do?
Why did it take so long?
Yeah, but the thing is that it's because, again, the people, when people are assigned to the election through by the news agencies, I say that in quote, not really news agencies, they only every 2 years they do something, and every 4 years they go gangbusters. So this is why 2 years ago there was nothing. Now it's 4 years later, and the same people are back. So it's like they're trying to get. So then there's more of the people are demanding it. They'll see it wherever it may be, and it's not being done on the mainstream media. It's on alternative media, and that goes to the idea. Then you had Gene, whatever her name is, the whatever moron, this press secretary. I don't even know. I don't care what her name is. Jean Perrier, Jean Pierre, blah blah blah, whatever.
I can't remember.
Moron. She basically is now touting out that all of the Biden videos are dumb fakes. Cheap fakes, whatever. Cheap fakes, whatever. I don't even care. But if the point being is that they're going to start to then bleed in, and they're doing it now. They've been doing this for the last 4 years plus. Misinformation. They're going to basically say it's misinformation, it's lies. So everything that is going on now in regards to the whistleblowers, in regards to COVID, regards to all this stuff, anything coming out of the election is going to be, it's all trying to distract you. That's what they're going to say. So they're basically saying right now, the other side is saying Josh Hawley is just lying. That they're going to say, and because our government doesn't lie to us. And that's what, and they can't get that.
The thing that I'm seeing that I never realized how bad it was how many people were brainwashed and believed everything. And it wasn't until COVID really, and the things that they did, that people were doing, before my eyes got opened and realized how many people were just.
Well, I saw it all the time.
I know you did, because you're intellectually looking at things differently than me. Okay. Well, I just didn't look at it that way.
Yeah, but the thing is that the things that I saw that made me believe that people are that fucking idiots were two things, and they're two totally unrelated theoretically. About 4 was it 4 years ago or 3 years ago? It was more than that. Shit, it was like 2016 or whatever that. Yeah, it was way back, 2015, 2014, whatever it was. Remember the blue dress, blue, black, and gold, yellow dress, whatever the fuck that was?
Yeah, they were trying to see, is it blue or is it yellow? Or remember, you talking about that when it was coming out? People couldn't tell, but some people were seeing it this color and other people were seeing. Yeah, I remember all. It was tennis shoes and a shirt. Or a dress. Yeah.
The dress. That. Yeah. But then that proved to me that people are idiots. They fall for anything. That was number one. Yeah. That was number one. There was many more. There's hundreds more, but that one came out with me a lot because at the time they were basically that same day the FTC was putting the whole thing on net neutrality at the time, and then pushing it forward. Which is controlling the internet, which they're doing. Yeah. The censorship's already happening. That's what that's what that is. So that got it. But the one thing that really irked me was a month before the stupidity began in February of 2020. A lot of fucking idiots were posting on Instagram, on Facebook about something they heard on television, television or news or radio, whatever the hell it was. I didn't listen to it. I just saw the fact. On this day is the only day of the year that you can put your stand-up broom up and it'll stand up straight. Something stupid like that.
Yeah, I think I saw that too.
And I told everyone on Facebook, you fucking idiots, this is bullshit. This happens. It's not once a month. It's not a once a year. It's once every month. It can happen at this particular time when it happens. And the response I got, we're just having fun. No, you're fucking idiots. You're dumb. So that's what I'm saying. No, it's just dumb. It's just dumb.
No, I understand. I understand what you're saying, because there are a lot of people. But the thing is that people are saying, well, people are waking up. And that some people are saying that they have to do things the way they're doing it, because you can't throw everything on a plate for somebody, because a lot of people can't handle that much information, that type of stuff. And I'm like, that's bullshit. I don't believe that this is all undercover psyop to catch the bad guys who cheated, or, any of this stuff. I just don't believe that. I think that okay, it's just that you don't go to spaces, so you don't know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of people that are conspiracy theorists that think that the white hats or the black hats and all these different people are doing different things in covert operations to wake people up so that there's not mass hysteria when all the facts start coming out and stuff like that. I'm like, I just think it's ridiculous about COVID and about the government.
No, there are people that there are people on both sides. There are three types of people out there. Mm-hmm. that are actively they're actively white hats, black hats, and gray hats. They are actually doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, I do believe there are, but I'm not saying what I'm saying is I don't think that everything that we're seeing that's going on with the government right now is all a white or black hat operation. I don't think we have a shadow government running everything. Things like that.
What?
I think there's different entities.
You don't believe it?
Group, no, not the whole thing. I don't believe the whole thing is some, I don't know. I just don't think that everything is all a psyop, because I believe that people really are stupid, like you said. And I know that because I'm in a small town and I still see people driving down the road wearing a mask. They're in there by themselves.
But that's
making that decision. The government didn't force them to drive their car with a mask on.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. They believe their God. They believe their God. That's why.
Well, whatever it is, each person that chooses to do something, and like this guy that pulled that gun out, started shooting people today. Okay, he did it. He got his gun. He loaded it. Correct. He walked around and shot people. I didn't make him. You didn't make him. The TV people didn't make him do it. He did it. See, that's where we're making a big mistake. We're lumping everyone together and saying every gay person is doing this and every bisexual person is doing that. Every straight person that's white is a redneck that hates blacks. We're putting everybody in these groups, and I'm not in any of those groups. Okay, I'm just a woman, a mom, and I'm straight. Okay, but that doesn't mean I hate gay people. That doesn't mean I hate bisexuals. That doesn't mean I hate blacks. But someone else will label me that just because I'm white. You see, that's where the problem is.
You definitely will.
I don't hate anybody. I hate everybody.
Start thinking for themselves, making decisions for your life on your own, and take in information and put together the puzzle using your own brain. And then when it's laying out in front of you that you put together, then you're going to say, shit, I can't believe this is the facts. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's how people wake up. That's how people learn. And that's how people learn to pick up the pieces and move on and vote better people in, get people to change the laws, do all those things. You have to have people that believe in it. Okay. And if everybody thinks everything's fucked, why even vote? I'll just go sit in my room and die of starvation because there's no reason to do anything.
Well,
there's no reason to live. You see, I mean, I don't believe that. I have things I've worked my whole life for, and I got to take care of them. Someone's got to feed my chickens. Someone's got to mow my yard. Someone's got to clean my dishes. Someone's got to do this stuff, and it's me. It's my responsibility.
Wait, right? Someone's gonna work the polls.
Well, that too. But the thing is, it's because that's what I believe.
My.
Since I was a kid, that's what I believe. Well, okay, I got one more thing I want to share with everyone, and then I'm gonna let Orange Chat talk about his thing. But this was a little funny, something funny to lighten the load that I saw, and I thought it was just funny as heck. And I want to share.
I think it is.
I don't know.
Every time you play these, I think it's going to be the one I want to hear.
I love this thing. It's so funny. But to me, it's from the Babylon Bee.
Oh.
So maybe you've seen it. I don't know.
It's not the one. It's not the one.
Okay. This is basically what the joke is that all China has to. This is a training video, fake training video to teach the Chinese how to fight a war against the American soldiers by using the wrong pronouns and stuff. So you guys need to watch. This is hilarious. For what?
Hello, brave soldier of People Liberation Army. As you know, our worst enemy is the United States of America. Traditional warfare techniques are not effective against their formidable forces. Luckily, we have found their weakness: misgendering. Our beautiful friend President Joseph Robinette Biden was nice enough to loan us some American soldier for this demonstration. Let's take a watch.
Hello there, Anyang Haseo, as your people say.
First technique is to shout wrong pronoun at American troop. Watch this. He, him. He, him. You are he, him. You are he, him. I can see clearly. You are bearded man. He, him. Very effective. Now, if that doesn't work, try using gender language. Watch this. Hey, dude. What's up, bro? What's up, my man?
Dude, bro, man. Ah!
Foolish American. Ha ha ha. Another thing to know about American army is they lowered the fitness standard. So you can just grab their puny little arm and hit them in the face like this. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Stop!
So stupid. They're so stupid. He's so stupid. I bet you get B on your report card.
I'm neurodivergent.
Like I said, stupid. Last technique. Remember that while we build strong culture and study tactic here in China, Americans are studying crazy things like gender theory on TikTok. So you can just distract them and attack from behind, like this. Oh, is that a drag queen story hour?
Drag queens where?
Surprise! Ah! See, that's all we need to defeat puny American soldier. We don't even need to fire a shot. All we need to do is say mean word they don't like. All glory to President Xi.
Oh, your president's pronoun is she? That's so progressive.
Pistol whip. Ah!
Oh, I just love that. I thought it was great because that is exactly, I feel, how other countries see us. That's how vulnerable we are.
That to me is one of the most accurate depictions I've ever seen.
I thought it was so funny because that is true. That is how these people look at us and our army. They think our army is just a bunch of guys wearing tutus and.
Well, look at what we got for our for the people who are the face of our military. We got a guy that thinks he's a fucking woman that wears dresses and has long hair.
Go.
We have a dude that fucking puts on a goddamn doggy mask. We have this
look at the energy secretary. I mean, look at him or it or whatever you want to call it. Oh, it's all right. It's funny. But yeah, it was funny. I thought it was I just couldn't help it. I wanted to share it after I saw it to break up the, the shit that we're going through. But okay, now I'm going to bring up your little thing that you asked me to talk about, the TikTok thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to bring it up next. Here we go.
Because folks,
want to make it big.
Remember the first time? Don't play it yet. The first time I came on here, on the shit show, and I basically brought one of the most poignant videos ever about how we are a republic and not a democracy. And it went in on how the founding fathers gave their true thoughts on the on what democracy or on democracies and why we are not one. Looking at all of the constitutions, 50 state constitutions, as well as our federal constitution, the word democracy is never even mentioned, as well as, our Declaration of Independence also doesn't have the word democracy in it. And yet, all you ever hear on the news is democracy, democracy, democracy. Well, some Trump supporters are actually finally, I've been saying this a lot, that people should speak up, correct people in saying we're not a democracy. However, this clip here that we have is going to paint some Trump supporters in a very unintellectual light, because unfortunately some of these Trump supporters that they showed couldn't give a valid reason as to why America is a republic. So they're now basically saying America is not a republic. The founding fathers created a democracy. They're actually fighting back against that, and that is why it is so important. Let's roll this.
I had one question to say. I had one comment to say. Yeah.
Let him.
I didn't know that Don Lemon had a gayer brother.
Yeah, right?
Neither did I. I didn't even think about that. But okay, here we go. I think it's turned up. Make sure. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
The former president is not a threat to democracy because the United States is not a democracy. CNN's Donnie O'Sullivan spoke to some of those supporters.
What happens if Trump loses?
I don't see him losing.
I don't think he lost the last election, to be honest.
Do you think he's going to win?
Yes. Without a doubt.
No doubt. What if he doesn't this time? What happens to the country?
We're done. We're done. Biden talks about democracy, saving democracy. They're the ones that are killing democracy.
Obviously, there's a lot of criticisms of Trump that he is bad for democracy, that he's bad for American democracy.
Okay, we are a republic.
We're a republic.
We are
We're
not a democracy.
Republic. We're not a democracy.
One thing we've been hearing at Trump rallies like this over the past few months is that America isn't really a democracy.
America's not a democracy, it's a republic.
It's not a democracy. Okay, democracy is actually not as good as you think it is.
But for centuries, America has celebrated its democracy.
Democracy is worth dying for. Democracy remains the definition of political legitimacy.
But some Republicans and pro-Trump media are pushing the idea that America is not a democracy.
The United States of America is not a democracy. We are a constitutional republic.
The United States of America is not a democracy. You don't want to be in a democracy.
We are not a democracy. We are a republic.
Is America a democracy?
America is a democracy. It was founded as a democracy.
I've heard a lot of conspiracy theories. I hear a lot of things out on the road. But to hear Americans, people who would describe themselves as patriots, say that America is not a democracy, that stopped me in my tracks.
You are hearing people say America is not a democracy because there are people around Trump who want them to be saying that, who've been planting that narrative.
Is America a democracy?
Pause.
I think, well, not right now.
Can we pause it? Okay, hold on.
Pause.
What's the difference?
Hold on.
I feel like
Wait, James Corden, is this James Corden's gay brother? Just kidding, never mind.
Yeah. They're saying that people are saying that, it was founded as a democracy. I was at my nephew's graduation from kindergarten today. And one of the things that they did was they recited the Pledge of Allegiance.
Really?
Yep. And
what's in there?
The Pledge of Allegiance, as so stated, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it
stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yep. So yeah, now play here. They're going to actually show that these people don't explain this, unfortunately, because they're kind of stumped. And it's like, if you're going to push the narrative, know your freaking history.
Okay, ready?
My favorite girls. Hey, Moira.
Democracy.
Yeah, it's like shit. You just got fucked over.
I don't see freedom in democracy. I see freedom in the republic. Honestly, the word democracy and the word republic have often been used interchangeably. There isn't a meaningful difference between them.
So much of the warnings and criticism about Trump is that he is a threat to democracy, that he is anti-democratic.
Absolutely. If they can convince people that we don't have a democracy, then it's okay that Trump is attacking democracy because it doesn't really matter.
So why has democracy become a bad word?
Because it's being used in a way to change the flavor of our country, which is a republic.
These words were used in different ways in the 18th century, and it's true the founders didn't want direct democracy, by which they meant people gathering on the town square. They wanted representative democracy. But I think the reason why this conversation about language has risen now is because there is a part of the Republican Party that would like to rule as a minority. And they need an excuse for why that's okay. And so they've begun to say, we're not a democracy, we're a republic.
Exactly what they're doing.
100% clear what that means, but I think they mean we want Donald Trump to be able to do whatever he wants.
Some people I've been speaking to Trump recently have been saying America is not a...
Pause it.
Yeah, that is bullshit, folks. We want people to understand our history so we don't repeat our history. We don't want to go back to a theocratic democracy or a monarchical democracy or a monarchical government at all, because that was the tyrannical shit that we freaking fled from back in the 1700s.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted our own independence because we were sick of tyrannical government over in Europe, and so therefore we drafted the Declaration of Independence. After the war, we drew up the constitutions, the very first amendments, the Bill of Rights, and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And when it came to what kind of stuff, or Ben Franklin was asked outside of the convention, what have you given us? A republic, if you can keep it.
Yeah.
This person that they have as an expert on in this CNN interview, and this Scottish little fellow here, unfortunately, a lot of the people he's asking, they are believing that, yes, we are a republic. They can't, unfortunately, express how it's a republic. Because,
yeah, but you got to remember this too. This is an interview from CNN. So if they did speak to 15 or 20 people that did explain the difference between a constitutional republic, they wouldn't even bother to show it, because it goes against the narrative of the woman that was saying that we're all wanting Trump because we want him to be the, a king, basically, that bullshit. So you got to remember.
We don't want a King Trump. We want a President Trump for 4 more years. And here's the thing.
Side.
Yeah. And it's all right. Let's finish up the last minute here.
Okay.
Democracy. It's a republic.
We've always been in a democracy. First of all, I mean, we used to have freedom of speech, freedom of religion. We used to have that too. Now they're picking on the Christians and the Jewish people. I mean, how much more can we take?
Are you concerned if Trump loses?
Yeah.
That there will be another January 6th?
No, I think there will be a civil war. That's what I think will happen.
Remember, this is CNN.
Look, there is, of course, a legitimate debate, discussion to be had.
Okay, that's all there needs to be really
shut
said.
this
Shut this fucking asshole up. As for Joe Atmosphere,
we
are not a democratic republic. We are not a democratic republic. We are a constitutional republic. The only democratic principle we have is a vote. We do not have, or yes, they have a majority vote in Congress and in the Senate. But when it comes to amendment laws and whatnot, you have to have a supermajority. The forefathers or founding fathers did this with the whole supermajority shtick because they knew that there would never be a supermajority as long as there is political discourse. Unfortunately, Democrats, everything that our founding fathers stood against and fought against, they want a supermajority and are trying to, basically, they are doing everything they can, including waging lawfare against political opponents. They're actually doing more of what Russia and other countries have done over the last 100 years to their political opponents. It is we have actually, unfortunately, become a communist nation under Joe Biden. We have a president who has used his influence to push political persecution against political enemies. And yes,
for money.
Yeah, and that as well.
Lots of it.
He's only profited monetarily as well. But one of the wonderful things is, from the chat, we have we do also have some Supreme Court people, the Supreme Court rulings that just basically ruled the New York decisions and convictions of Donald Trump are illegitimate. So yeah, I can't wait to hear the news media start freaking out over that, because
I was trying to see if I can find that real quick on my timeline.
Pull that up. Go to the chat and just click it, and it'll pull it up immediately.
Oh, that's right. It's in our it's in our
group chat.
Okay. Yeah. Let me go.
And because it's like, hey, guess what? according to the 6th Amendment of our Constitution, part of the Bill of Rights, unanimity means you have to therefore identify a clear law that has been broken. You have to properly define it, and then you have to have a jury of your peers, all of them in one voice, declare that it has, or that a verdict has been reached and that a person is either guilty or innocent.
Okay, here we go.
So yeah, that judge declaring you don't have to be unanimous, it could be 4-4-4 or whatever. He broke the law. He broke federal and state law. He should automatically be disbarred and arrested on the bench. He should have, or this should have happened. Police officers at the court should have said, "Sir, you are under arrest for violation of law and constitutional misconduct."
So basically, the 6-3 ruling was right down party lines, right?
No, there's a 5-4 currently party line. The party lines currently are 5-4 when it comes to the Supreme Court.
Because it was
6-3 means one
person,
of the
this person and this person that voted against it. I'm pretty sure, and the rest are 6 said yes. So
Yep.
I thought that was party lines, but I guess this guy is a Democrat, right?
I'm guessing so, yeah, because here's the thing. It's 6-3 that, or one of those 4 is or voted along constitutional bounds.
Yeah.
Meaning, yeah.
Even though
It's
they're a Democrat, they were picked by Democratic presidents. What I mean, they voted for the Constitution, but this woman is the one that said she couldn't define what a woman was.
Yeah, Ketanji Brown Jackson's a fucking idiot.
I'm just saying, it's sad that it's just sad that they, instead of looking at any person that's going to be sitting in this chair, right? They should be people that understand the Constitution. Okay, when they overturned Roe v. Wade, okay, and put it back to the states, okay, it didn't stop a woman from being able to get abortion, which is what these women say all the time, which is not a truth. That's lies. You can still get one. You just have to go to the state that lets you just walk in and get one. Okay. Or depending on how far along you are, because each state we have in our country has their own constitution. That's why we are a constitutional republic. We vote in our states on the guidelines of our constitution for our state, also by the guidelines of our federal constitution, right? That's how each state works. Now, the federal government cannot send troops into the state without our governor saying it's okay to send the troops in, because if we don't ask for help, the federal government is not supposed to impede their will on us. Just like
it is not.
Colorado, you can walk around and smoke a joint and it's legal. Okay. You can't have bags of pot, but you can have a joint and walk around and smoke it freely, just like if it was a cigarette. But that's against federal law, having a joint, walking around smoking it. So they can't go into the state of Colorado and arrest people, even though they're breaking a federal law, because the state constitution outrides that one thing in that state, simply because of that state has a constitution. So there's lots of things that people don't understand about when it's sent back to a state. It's the state's constitution that rules that state.
Yeah.
The federal government is not allowed in unless our governor that we voted for in our democratic choice in the state, right?
A democratic vote.
Our choice, right? And then we pick that governor to protect us in our state. And if our governor says, fuck you to the federal government, like Sarah Huckabee did, Sarah Huckabee Sanders said, we are not going to comply to Title IX, and there ain't shit they can do. They can fine us, they can do whatever they want, but they cannot come in our state and arrest a single person or send troops in. That's against the Constitution, the federal Constitution, because we have the rights to have rights in our state. That's why.
Speaking of governor elections, gubernatorial elections, as they call them, I will never understand goober. It just sounds so weird. But the whole gubernatorial elections, I also personally, myself, believe that gubernatorial elections should also be chosen by electoral or by an electoral college, because or a single city should not decide everybody's or an entire state's governor. New York State is mostly decided by the New York City vote when it comes to the governor race. However, when Zeldin went up against Hochul, a lot of people actually went, or I believe that race was like either 30,000 or something like that when it came to final tally. But the problem is the government, or when it was Cuomo versus Molinaro, 95% of New York State's different districts voted red. The same happened with Zeldin versus Hochul. It was 95% of the state's districts all vote red. We are not, a lot of people say New York is a deep blue state. You are out of your fucking mind if you believe that. We are not a deep blue state. We are more red than you realize. The unfortunate reality is we are ruled by a city and not a state.
Well, see, that's something your state will have to do, just like our forefathers did for the United States, because they knew when they saw the bustling cities on both coasts that if they didn't do something to even it out, that all the little people, the farmers and the ranchers and stuff in the middle states wouldn't have any say. They wouldn't be able to choose who the president was, because California, Washington State, New York, New Hampshire, all those bustling cities would make all the decisions. So they had to come up with a way that the states in the middle, because there is more people in the city of New York, okay, just the city, than the whole state of Arkansas. So Arkansas would have no say in anything, and neither would Oklahoma.
Yep.
Or Missouri, or Kansas. You start going through all these states and you realize we can't outvote these cities. There's too many of them. So there were geniuses, if you think about it, the way that they tried to, they fought and they argued and they fought for our freedom. Okay. That's what they did. And I'm thankful every day that we have a constitution and a Bill of Rights to protect us. The sad fact is where we are right now in our country is the fact that we have a judicial system that is trying to make laws from the bench, which they're not supposed to. That's why we have senators. That's why we have congressmen. Why
we have a legislative body.
Yeah. So the thing is
judicial
that
body is not allowed to, or is not allowed
well, they're
to
not
make
supposed
laws.
to. They're not supposed to. They're supposed to rule just like this court did. They ruled what they believe the Constitution says. And, their opinion comes down, and hopefully we'll follow through. But with this person that's in office right now running everything, I don't know whether or not our justice system will listen to the Supreme Court. How many times have I heard, this person right now that's, I was going to say, Biden, but sorry. Have we heard Biden tell them that they were full of shit?
So what is the point of the story you're bringing up? I can't even read it. What was the story?
Okay, well, this is basically what it says is that, oh darn, I clicked on the wrong one. That in a 6-3 decision today, SCOTUS ruled a jury must be unanimous in its findings on criminal convictions. The 444 New York jury instructions and number 2, sentencing enhancements cannot be implied by the judicial.
arbitrarily implemented by judicial
you can't
fiat.
do it. They
Meaning
can't push
they can't make those rulings, or that what the judge did was illegal. It was unethical.
We already knew that. So
yeah,
yes,
we knew.
but they basically put it on official record. They basically slapped down the judge saying, you are going to be held to account by this if you do not reverse your ruling.
Mm-hmm. So now
it's up to that judge to basically listen to what the Supreme Court has said. It's like, because you involved a federal implementation, because I do believe that they used a federal thing to enhance the charges.
So this is basically what's going to happen is you're going to have Trump is going to appeal in New York. If it doesn't appeal, he go to the Supreme Court and it'll be thrown out. So there it is. It's done.
No, it's not. Or he doesn't have to appeal now. He doesn't have to appeal. The New York's state's judge, that judge has no choice but to vacate that conviction.
Yeah, but I think they're still going to push him through the hoops.
If he doesn't, he faces disbarment.
And again,
federal
it's New
charges.
York. It's New York.
Yeah, that's if anybody does anything. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But I don't think, I just don't think enough people in New York will stand beside this judge after the ruling of the Supreme Court. Now, what they can do is say a mistrial or whatever, and then they can decide to try him again, and then give a different ruling to the jury and tell them they have to be unanimous in their decision.
Speaking of,
when did this happen? When did this happen?
Recently, as in
just
the
yesterday,
last day
I think,
or two.
or today.
Yeah.
It was yesterday or today.
There
But I'm
was
trying to find this other article real quick so I can pull it up for us.
While you're searching, there was an interesting CNN interview with somebody that a lot of people know is not a Trump supporter, but she is a judge. And she even called it out as political persecution. That judge is very famous. You all have seen her on TV. Her name is Judge Judy. And she even, George Stephanopoulos, or not Stephanopoulos, that fucktard from, that went from Fox to CNN, whatever his fucking name is.
Chris Wallace?
Yeah, that jackass. He did the interview, and asking her the questions and whatnot. And when she didn't give the proper answers, she's like, "Well, what do you think of Trump?" And she's like, "I don't think he should have been president. I don't even think he thought he could or he was going to be president."
Yeah.
But it's like, God damn it, I'm trying to get you to bash Trump and you won't fucking do it. And it's like, so he had to pull out a more direct question. What do you think of Trump? And she's like, I don't think he should be president, and I don't think he thought he was going to be president. That's not exactly a bash either. I mean, it's like, hey, okay, she's not a Trump supporter. We already knew that. But she told you guys flat out in that interview that guess what? What they did was freaking political bloviation.
But here is the other ruling.
hilarious.
This is one of the other rulings that came out with. It says the Supreme Court has ruled the U.S. citizens do not have a constitutional right to guarantee their non-citizen spouses admittance into the country.
That is
thereby
true. It
putting
means marriage does not give green card.
Biden's most recent border executive order in jeopardy. Because he said that if you're married, if you run out and get married to an illegal, they can't be deported. That's basically why they ruled on this.
Well,
So
they can now, right?
Huh?
They can be, right?
They can be deported if they're not a citizen.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's what the Supreme Court ruled, that they can be deported even if they marry a person that's an American citizen, because they are not a citizen. Now, if they get married and that woman gets pregnant and she's an American citizen, or the dad is an American citizen, their child born here will be an American citizen. See, that's how it works.
Thank you, baby.
I just
So-
say go back to Mexico. everybody.
Vivek.
Well, I can't say
Get rid
that.
of the anchor baby clause.
If I say that, they won't understand me.
So,
Sorry.
but
Now,
the
now
thing
who's
is,
talking?
is
Now
that
who's talking to nobody?
we're starting to see little things like that, like these different rulings by our Supreme Court that we still have a means to an end to end some of this bullshit. Okay, that is only if we have a court system and police officers and stuff that will follow the law and say you cannot put Trump in prison because he was not ruled. He didn't get convicted because not enough people voted to convict him. 444 is not.
Yeah, but the thing is that here's the thing: was that really the case? Was it 444 or was it all?
Yes.
According, they say it was
No.
unanimous.
No,
They say it was unanimous that he
444.
broke the law. They didn't define it.
Yeah, they didn't.
Are you
he didn't
sure?
define- Yes.
Yes.
That's why they ruled on it. They had no reason to rule
That's
on
why
it.
he.
If
Yeah, but the thing
he
is that
didn't do
I know that they said the 4 you could do 4 on this, 4 on this, and 4 on that. And it's all 12.
Okay,
You
but what
could
I
do that.
mean is,
but
the
did they
people
do
that
that?
took it to them, the people that took it to the Supreme Court had what they said that they'd done and said, we just think it's wrong. What is your ruling on it? Does it have to be unanimous by the whole people on the jury? Like when
True.
the judge asked, are you unanimous? Did you all vote? Is this your vote? And they said yes. So if they all say yes, all 12 people say this guy's guilty because of this, whatever it is, this on this, remember, and they ask on this concealed weapon.
I've been on a federal. I've been
they
on
didn't
federal.
do that because they didn't all agree on which ones he was going to be convicted. 4 people said he was guilty of this, and 4 people said he was guilty of that, and 4 people said he was guilty of that. They were all different crimes, but only 4 people voted on it. See, that agreed. The rest of them didn't.
I hope that's true.
And that's what it. Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. So that's basically what how I broke it down from what I saw and from what the ruling came down is that it has to be unanimous. And I just did jury duty, and that's what I was saying. I'd never heard such a stupid thing the way the judge came out with it. I don't know how he got away with it, but the Supreme Court didn't agree with that court. So I'm glad. So that either they'll throw it out and give him a mistrial and then try him again. And this time when they give the jury the direction on what you're supposed to do, they'll have to tell them the right way about you all have to be unanimous on your vote or you can't convict. That's basically what they'll do. And they're going to retry him. So just be ready for that.
Unless they dismiss it on prejudice.
Yeah, but it's New York, just like you said. They're not going to dismiss it. They're
They
going to
have
retry
a right
it.
to request it.
Yeah, they do, but they won't get it. Not if it's the same judge or whatever.
They would actually have to use a different judge, actually, because this trial was already seen as not legitimate.
Maybe. I mean, honestly, the way they've done all of this stuff hasn't been legal. And it's all biased and one-sided. You know, it's like instead of it being level law, it's like this. So I don't expect anything to go fair because they haven't been since the beginning of it. So I don't see them starting now, honestly. Do you?
I do believe that in the end, the right way that things need to happen will happen.
Well,
because
that was
it's
it.
either
That's all
that
this
or we
that
must
I wanted
honestly.
to talk about tonight. This is it.
Yeah.
I brought everything up. We've been going for over an hour and 30 minutes, and you know, my allergies are starting to get really bad. But I have a game tomorrow, so
I had that little. I sent you that funny thing.
Oh, where is it again? Let me get it. It's in the private chat. Okay, I'm sorry.
Sorry,
It's so short. It makes you laugh.
Let me open it real quick and I'll get it set up. I'm gonna push pause.
It's something stupid.
It's hey, everything I've been doing is stupid. Do you want me to make it full screen?
Yeah.
Okay, I will as soon as I
will kill this fly before the stream is over.
End the stream now.
Here we go. I'm gonna present it.
Because again, this is totally comedy. I like it.
Sarah Rose.
It's not to be serious.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh yeah, that's what's her name.
Okay, here we go. I got it turned up. And I'm going to make it bigger. And here we go. Ready?
Go ahead.
I can't hear anything.
It's
I can't
really
hear
low,
anything.
even though it's turned all the way up. So hold on. Let me pause it and start it again.
It's
I got to
not turned
turn.
up.
You see, it is. Look, it's all the way
Oh,
up.
come on.
It's all the way up. I'm going to turn my
audio sucks.
stuff on, and I'm going to turn my mic towards the speakers. So we'll see.
All right, that works.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
What's one
Yeah.
move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
You gotta give him that huck too and spit on that thing.
I'm gonna come.
What can I say? Spit the cobwebs off this thing.
I'm gonna do it.
No.
That's terrible. But now I understand. I saw 4 or 5 people.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Hats with these hats that said "hawk" or something like that.
Yeah, Hawk or whatever. And I'm like, what the fuck is this Hawk shit?
That's
And
what
remember,
it is. Now
and
I saw
remember, you could do that to ladies too. Or you should
Yeah.
be doing it to ladies deserve it.
Do you want to swap spit? That's what people say.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, you want a
yeah.
Hawk Twa?
Hell
You want a
yeah.
Hawk Twa?
That was
Hawk.
hilarious.
Wow.
But I want to tell you guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. And I thought we had some really good discussion. We got 128 people right now watching us. Thank you for everyone that's over on X and Rumble. Really appreciate it. And I want to say thank you to everyone in the chat for being such good chat and being very active and asking questions and, talking to us and stuff. I really appreciate it. But Orange Hat, do you have any plans coming up?
Sunday is my Acolyte and weekly recap thing with Nerd with the Cigar. We're going to be talking the Acolyte and all the crazy shit that's going on with it, as well as our thoughts on that latest episode, or on that episode from last week, or from this week rather. Also, Tuesday is the final for the Trilogy Thoughts month, where it's going to be talking about Karate Kid trilogy. Good trilogy. I enjoyed it. It really shaped my childhood. And Tuesday night is Barroom Podcast with me, Society Reviews and others, where we are on his stream, Society Reviews channel, talking about insanity in Hollywood and stuff. And Wednesday we'll be talking Jurassic Park 2 on Mara Jade's channel, Jade Shadow, at 8 p.m. Eastern, and Thursday exclusively on X at 8:30 p.m. or 8:30 is also Wednesday's thing, but 8:30 p.m. on Mars, or on exclusively on X, on my X account, will be the discussion for Ghost in the Darkness with Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas. And yeah, that's about it.
Thank you very much. Well, Ruben, do you have any plans?
Oh, just a lot of stuff online, Twitter. That's where I like it. That's where I get all my news, and just following when a lot of stuff's going on. I'll be posting more videos soon. I haven't had a chance of doing the videos here on Friday, but I will be doing more stuff on Rumble coming up soon. Just have to find the time because I'm still trying to finish up my healing and get it out there. So I'm working on that. It's got a lot going on personally and stuff. So that's what I'm doing.
Well, tomorrow I'll be playing Dungeons and Dragons Pathfinder, or whatever you want to call it, with Bruce and the rest of our little group that's on a quest, and probably all day. So you can stop in off and on X, on my Rumble, and on my YouTube, and on Bruce's channel that he's going to be airing. And then Sunday, we are going to, in Discord, if you want to join, you just send me a DM. You can join us, and we're going to watch The Godfather, and then we're going to review it afterwards. So I don't know what I'm going to wear yet. I haven't figured it out. I was trying to find a big horse head because I was just going to put that on. I thought that'd be kind of funny, but I haven't been able to.
Make your no funny camera skills.
put a sheet around me and have a horse head or something. I thought that would be funny. But no, I didn't have time. That's what sucks about it being this way is watching it and then not having a day, like overnight, and then next day us reviewing it where I had time to think about what I wanted for my costume. Like when I was dressed as a nun when we did the Blues Brothers, I made my own habit and everything, to wear for the show. And I try to, make my costumes that way, but, I couldn't figure something out. So I guess I'll just dress as one of the women from the Godfather or something. But that's what I got planned. And then next week I got the Thursday show and Friday show again. And it'll be a few weeks before I get to do another UFO Mysteries. But if you haven't seen the UFO Mysteries yet, I'm in my true form on those shows. What I normally look like in Venus. And it's a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun. But it's about, a lot of people do believe in aliens. And the last episode we did was talking about people that have been abducted. And we're trying to get people from the chat that if they had been abducted to contact Tobat because he wants to have you up on the show and to be able to talk about what happened, what you feel happened to you. So you can share it. But that's all.
Were you probed?
Were you probed? I wasn't. I believe I saw an alien.
No, you do the probing. You're the alien.
But yeah, I do the probing. But you wouldn't.
And she does it with the pegger.
But I just want to say thank you to everybody, and I had a great time tonight. I love doing this.
Right.
This gives me an escape, a way for me to voice my opinion about things. And I don't know. I just think it's good for you. It's good therapy to have somebody you can talk to. And we don't always agree, which I like. I like having dissenting points of view because you can't learn anything or think about something. Hey, I never thought of it like that. I'm going to look into it. You see, it causes you to rethink things and reevaluate them. And discussion is always good. Talking about anything for any relationship or anything. If you don't discuss things and you just do it, just do whatever because someone told you to, you need to work on yourself a little bit. But I just want to say thank you to everyone, and thank you for hanging out with us again. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful night, and hopefully we'll see you next Thursday. See you later.
Bye.